Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University, Professor Henry Fago, SAS. The man that took that university to the highest level. You are welcome again, sir. Mrs. Kola only for the opening prayer, the acting registrar of the university.
Shall we pray? Our Lord and our God, we want to thank you for this day. It is the day that we have made and it is marvelous in our sight. We want to commit this program into your hands, O Lord. We pray that you take preeminence in the name of Jesus. We commit other members that are on their way even into your hands, O Lord, that you bring them safely even to this place in the name of Jesus. And we pray, O Lord God, that all that we shall be here today, O Lord, shall be to the glory of your name. Thank you, our Lord and our Redeemer. In Jesus' name we are praying. Amen.
Thank you, Lord. The Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Olumiwa Omotola Udusoya, to this side. While Professor Fago came in, my VC was highly excited because they worked together. May I invite to this side to the immediate past Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University, Professor Henry Fago, SN. Also to this side is the acting registrar, Mrs. TFO Kolawole. Professors in the house, you are all welcome. I can personally recognize Professor Lamade. Professor Omo, you are welcome. The Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Latifupo Olare, is there? The National
Lasustech is excellence. Excellence is Lasustech. 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 The University of
The DBC administrator is here now. Please come to this side first. Dr. Ajani.
Once again, you are all welcome to this special occasion of arts. University Orientation Workshop. As you will see in today's event, we have the opportunity to invite the Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University of Science and Technology in the person of Professor Omotola Odusoya to give his welcome address.
Good morning, all. Permit me to welcome, first and foremost, my big boss, who I was speaking a little bit after, Professor Olanrewaju Adigun-Fagbon. I welcome you, sir. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, Professor Asira Obishola Oladipupo. The Acting Registrar, Mrs. Temitope Olawole. I've not seen the boss. Our deans, professors are present. I warmly welcome all participants to this sensitization workshop with the theme, Building an Excellent World-Class University, being facilitated by the Office of the Vice Chancellor and our Human Resources Board. I heartily welcome the large array of stars, well-known, first-class academics of repute internationally and in Nigeria, both external and internal to our university. Indeed, they are all my friends. I welcome first Professor Olanrewaju Adigun-Fagbon, SAN, 8th Vice Chancellor and immediately past Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University, who offered me a platform to serve Lasustech. Thank you very much, sir. I welcome my bosom friend of over 30 years, who by God's grace, our paths have been similar, Professor Adesegun Fatusi, who is the current Vice Chancellor of the Lagos State University of Medical Sciences. I also welcome my sister, Professor Olasade Mishola, Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, who again will serve as Provost of our different colleges of medicine, both University of Lagos and Lagos University, around the same period. Indeed, I told Shade that one day she will become busy. I did not know also become busy. We must be fortunate to have 3 Vice Chancellors as our guests. I also welcome another sister friend of mine, Dr. Tawi Baye, an outstanding administrator and former registrar at University of Lagos, and also another brother of mine, Mr. Said Olayinka, FCA Bossa, Lagos State University, and also Professor Abiodun Akinpelu from LASU. I'm grateful to our internal facilitators, Professor Abebi, DBC Academic, Professor Abiodun Dendoye, DBC Administration, Professor Basura Oladipupo, Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Aderoba, and the Acting Registrar, all who play some role at this program. I also want to thank Dr. Ajani, our Director of Resources Board, who has run from pillar to post. And if you work with me, you have to be on your toes to ensure the program goes. I thank you very much. This workshop, though late in coming, due to the need to carefully understand the terrain and challenges of the transmission process, is timely and apt.
Sensitization may be defined as the process of making an organism respond, maybe abnormally, to a foreign substance. In the field of vaccinology, we give an antigen or a vaccine so that the vaccinated person can develop antibodies to prevent diseases when exposed. When we give preventive vaccines, just like the HPV vaccine against cervical cancer, then truly the person is sensitized and never develops the disease. In this workshop, our goal may be more of disease elimination, to remove diseases such as lameness, mediocrity, working in silos, lack of vision, lack of accountability, and inefficiency from our university. Far more than this, to give us a fresh vision that will align with our blueprint, the impact vision, so that truly to become an excellent world-class university. May I remind us that our goal is to become a highly competitive, much sought after, globally acclaimed world-class university. The impact vision, the blueprint, focuses on 6 strategic areas, namely infrastructural development, manpower development, prosperity and productivity of the university community, a strong university culture of academic excellence, research and services, catalyst to the Lagos State agenda, town and gown relationship in the context of an entrepreneurial organization. Excellence refers to the quality of being outstanding or extremely good. World class, which we all aim to, refers to being one of the best of that time. The desire to be in an excellent world-class university is lofty, but achievable. It means we are committing to be a university that's outstanding and one of the best in the world. It indicates I want to be like one of the Ivy League university in America or belonging to one of the Roosevelt Group in the United Kingdom. I encourage each one to please study the characteristics of Harvard, MIT, Oxford, Cambridge universities. We need to realize that they work very hard to achieve their enviable present status. Harvard was started in 1836. Cambridge and Oxford started about 10,000, and I think the other one at 12,000. We're talking about a person with a long history of excellence. We must do the same. Becoming an excellent world-class university requires a paradigm shift and a new way of thinking. To think globally, yet acting locally. To be committed stakeholder, to be diligent, to work as a team, to pursue innovations, to teach our students diligently, to conduct outstanding, groundbreaking research and register patents. We cannot build something on nothing. Thus, this workshop serves as the building block to help us where we can begin to build our excellent world-class university. To all who are here, do not take this workshop for granted. Each one is to give full attention, take notes, and return as still persons to spread the news and show a good example of that person, that man or woman, academic or non-academic, that will make Lagos State University of Science and Technology indeed a University of Excellence and a world-class university. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, VC, for that scintillating speech. Well appreciated. As we move on, I have the honor to introduce, as mentioned earlier on, the person that changed the face of Lagos State University to what it is now. Among tertiary institutions in Nigeria, specifically university, the man that made Lasustech to be what it is today, we are privileged to have him in our midst now, in the person of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the former Vice Chancellor. What else do we have to accommodate this name? You are welcome, sir. Dr. Aminu, please. for job citation.
My name is Dr. Suraju Daniel Amino. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good morning. I stand on the existing protocol. I have the pleasure to present a citation of Professor Olariwaju Fagbon. Olariwaju, PhD, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, National Productivity Order of Merit, is a professor of environmental law. He received his training at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, and at the University of Lagos, from where he obtained his Bachelor of Laws, Master of Laws, and later doctorate degree. At different times, Professor Fagbon has served as consultant and task leader for the United Nations Environmental Programme, the British Council, the European Commission, World Council of Genetics, the Harvard Medical School, the National Judicial Institute, and several state governments, among others. Professor Fagbon is an assessor, cum external examiner for MPhil, PhD programs of a number of universities within and outside Nigeria, and an honorary member of the Human Rights Due Diligence Forum of the British Institute of International Law, International and Comparative Law, United Kingdom. Professor Fagbon is a member of the Telford National Research Fund Screening and Monitoring Committee and of the National Universities Commission's National Universities Advisory Ranking Committee. Professor Fagbon was one of the 19 experts globally selected in 2012 to work in the task force that produced the International Biossociation of publication titled Achieving Justice and Human Rights in an Era of Climate Disruption, published in July 2014. As of January 2023, Professor Fagbon has published 82 articles in local and international peer-reviewed journals and delivered over 192 commission lectures in different parts of the world. He has co-edited 9 books and authored 2 books that have met with acclaim and enthusiastic praise from reviewers, namely The Law of Oil Pollution and Environmental Restoration, a Comparative Review, and his influential inaugural work, Harmful Remedies, Endless Conflicts, and Inconsistencies in Nigeria's Quest for Environmental Governance, Rethinking the Legal Possibilities for Sustainability. On a number of occasions, Professor Fagbon has acted as Nigerian law expert for law firms in the United Kingdom and United States. In one of the cases, the United States District Court Southern District of Florida expressly relied in a judgment on Professor Fagbon served as the 8th substantive Vice Chancellor of the Lagos University. He was the chairman of the operated by the Honorable Minister for Environment in 2022 to review Nigeria's Climate Change Act 2021. In 2019, Professor Fagbon was conferred with the National Productivity Order of Merit Award (NPOM) by the President Fagbon to come and present his thought with this gathering. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words about me. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I go to my protocols, let me say this. I'm a bit of a very destructive person, so you must pardon me. A very destructive person. You know me, that I'm very destructive. And if we want things to change, we have to be destructive. So you must promise yourself this morning that by the time this whole exercise is over, you are going to make a difference. And that starting point this morning, sir, whenever you are introducing yourself, don't say you are Dr. This or you are Professor that. Ask me 100 times what is your name. My name is Larry. It is what I say and what I do that will give you an indication whether I'm a professor or I'm a doctor. It is what I say or what I do. So what is defining you is not your title. What is defining you is what you are reflecting. So from this moment onward, never ever introduce yourself Dr. This or Professor that. It is the other part about you that will say, now we want to welcome Professor Odusoya. Ask Odusoya to introduce himself. Odusoya will say, my name is Olumuyiwa Odusoya, and that is where it ends. The next thing I'm going to do is the Vice Chancellor. I'm going to plead your indulgence. My VC, you're welcome. I've not done the protocol, so I've not missed you out. I'm going to plead your indulgence, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. You have labeled these seats for some people to come in. They have refused to come in on time. Gentlemen at the back, please come in and feel. Let us feel. Let us feel. That is how it is. That is how it begins. Let us feel. Let us come to the front, please. Let us come to the front. Let us come to the front. Gentlemen, please come. Look, it's a conversation we want to have. It's a conversation we want to have. So please come to the front, please. When they come late, let them sit at the back. Please. We have seats at the front here, please. We have seats at the front. It's a conversation that we want to have this morning. It's a conversation we want to have. Please. I'm starting with a mixed feeling. Mixed feeling in the sense that when I came in, I went straight to the office of the Vice Chancellor. His car was not there. So I asked, I said, where is the Vice Chancellor? Just at the moment when they were about answering that question, I got a call, and it was the VC. That was about 5 minutes to 9. And he said, where are you? And I said, I am in your office. He said, because we are expecting you. I knew he would not start this event late. That is where excellence starts from. And he knew that I would not come late. He knew that I would not come late. If I come late, it will be an aberration. If I have to leave my house by 5, I have to be here. It is for 9, it is for 9, I must be there. So when I got there and I think his car was not there, and I looked at 5 minutes to 9, with this start? Professor Oladipo is here. Inaugural lectures, 3 is for 3. If it is only one man in the hall, we will start. The first Senate I had, when I got in, I've not started my lecture. This is preamble. The first Senate I had, when I got in there, I found maybe about 10 people out of about 100 people that should be there. I said, Mr. Registrar, lock the door. We will convert it to a special sitting of Senate, and Senate will go on. All the professors, everybody stood out there. Because there is no reason why you should, for those who are not observing the rules and regulations, embarrass, torture, and put those who came in early to prejudice. No. So, after about 1.5 hours of Senate, I now said they should go and open the door for the latecomers to come in. And I told all the brothers, I said, if the way you are coming in now, the way you are sauntering in now, is how you want us to be conducting the affairs of this university will never go forward. Sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, 10 minutes to 10, the place was filled. It is about you, the leader, and every member playing your role. The second thing I want to do this morning, Mr. Vice Chancellor, permit me. When you were singing your university anthem, I had no pride in it. The university anthem is a charge. It's like you are going to war. Come to Lasso and see them singing the university anthem. You will think they want to fight. Everybody owned it. So you are going to stand up now. They will replay that university anthem and we will sing the university anthem celebration song. And sing it with your heart. That is the way you can take your university forward. I don't know if I'll be mumbling, but I will be a part of it. I think we can sing it by mouth if the man is not doing it for us, or we don't know it. Then let somebody lead us. That is more like it. Let somebody lead us. Those who don't know it, you go and learn it. Is that not something that will, at the end of the day, you do something like this? Where is that now?
I see such a burning passion for skills and good economy. Invention and groundbreaking research, grooving leaders and shaping lives. We try to build a great nation of excellence and integrity. We are real. My Lasustech is excellence. Excellence is Lasustech. The University of Excellence.
Thank you very much, sir. That is more like it. Please, that is more like it. Your passion about your university begins from there. If you have no passion about this university, forget anything about excellence. It cannot be there. It is only when you have the passion that is what will drive you there. Without the passion, the university will not get there. Let me say that I am truly very honored to stand before this great audience this morning to discuss a topic of great significance, the mindset for an excellent world-class university. The Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Olumiwa, thank you very much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to stand at the podium this morning. the Deputy Vice Chancellor, I can say my sister, Basira Toladidipo, distinguished professor, thank you very much. Thank you so much. And let me use the opportunity to thank you for all you did with me while serving there. The acting registrar, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Let me recognize my brother, a great advisor, a great confidant, a man who was my senior at the secondary school, and I've always been running after him because when you talk of a man that is extraordinarily brilliant, extraordinarily brilliant. In fact, when we were in the secondary school and I look at him, I always tell myself that, God, you gave this man 10 people's brain and you gave me half of one man's brain. Because he was just amazing. Professor Shegun Fatusi. Thank you very much. Vice Chancellor, let them see you. I'm proud of you, that let them see you. He's a shy man, but when it comes to a book, he's not shy. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Let me thank members of the university community, professors, directors, other members of the university for agreeing to be a part of this vision. Let me thank other stakeholders here present. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate the university on its establishment. I congratulate this university. And I want to thank the Lagos State University and the Lagos State government for the vision of starting this university and the other university at Akwet. Lagos deserves this university because Lagos is the hub. And let me say this. When you think of funding that will come from the Lagos State government, you will be the driver of that fund. And what do I mean by that? If you are a problem child, they will look the other way and spend their money in some other ways. Lagos State government, they have so many competing things. Lagos State government is where, that is the focus of attention. All other state governments are looking at them. And they have so many things, they are not waiting. They are moving forward. So, if you become a beautiful bride by the kind of things coming out from your institution, that is when they will reckon with you. That is when their money will come to you. But if they are a problem child, nobody will listen to you. They will just consign you to that window of let them be. Let them be. When they are passing, good morning, no. Lasustech, good morning, no. But they will not come near you because they are not seeing dividends. Nobody wants, even we in our respective families, we don't want to spend money without getting the dividends. So you must be ready to show them that you are ready to be supported. And we are going to go into some of that here, and I know my other colleagues will also go into it. You have coined for yourself a mantra that should drive your agenda. You have christened yourself University of Excellence. That is the starting point. When I got to LASU, together with my colleagues, we started this mantra of when we want to address our students, we'll tell them, world-class students. Do you know that the students came to meet me one day and said, Mrs. Sir, when we started, we are not world-class. We feel so burdened when you say world-class students because we are not world-class. Then I told them something. That is the name they will bear. But the Igbos here, am I getting it? I want to try and say it in Igbo, but it's not coming. You see, it is what you want your child to bear. That is the name you give to that child. But a lot now depends on whether that child wants to continue to reflect it. I can tell you, by the time you are getting towards the third, fourth year, the students themselves, if you don't call them world class, they will show you that they are world class. By the kind of brilliance, the competitive spirit in them, they will show you that they are world class. So you'll be forced to reckon with them. Our students who are going for competition back to back, they are doing their exams that are going for competition because a spirit of competition, healthy competition was just in them. And that's what giving a good name. So you started what? By christening yourself University of Excellence. What qualified me to occupy this podium this morning? I will say maybe the modest achievement that we made at the Lagos State University. That is what probably qualifies. And that is why anytime people tell me, you see, this morning as I stand here, I must give a lot of kudos and appreciation to the Vice Chancellor, who was the director of research. And I will come to him as I go on. Same with Professor Ladipupo, who was the director sandwich. And I will come to her. The money we were spending, substantial part of it was coming from her. And I will tell you what she did in the course of it. That is why when people want to thank me as VC, I tell them, don't thank me. Thank my team. Because without them, you could not have achieved anything. So what that tells you is that it is not the work of one man. It is our work if we want to turn this place to a University of Excellence indeed. Why am I going to talk about why do I think I am here for a modest achievement? I want to tell you that it is possible for you to be a world-class university. So don't think it's a mirage. Don't think it's an impossibility. What were the things that we did within 5 years? When we started in 2016, LASU was known as 1 week, 1 trouble university. 1 week, 1 trouble. If I tell you that 5 years, by the time we were through in 2021, we have continued now. Not one day of crisis did we have. Not one day of crisis. One day I was sitting with Mr. Governor. They have reported me so much to Mr. Governor. So Mr. Governor called us. Oga was sitting like that in the middle. One union that reported me was sitting on this side. I was sitting on this side with my registrar. So Mr. Governor said they should first report and tell him all that I have done. So they told Mr. Governor everything I have done. When it was my turn to report, I said, Mr. Governor, sir, they are leaders of the union. Tell them to call a strike where they are sitting. Tell them now that call a strike. I said, okay, it will fail. Nobody will respond to them. I said, sir, that speaks to the fact that we have 5 unions in that university. Only one union is here complaining about me. Did I give due to the other 4 unions, including the student union that are not fighting me? Even their own members, significant number of them will not follow them. I said, sir, that will explain to you that there is something we are doing that is right, and there is something they are doing that is faulty. That was how the meeting ended. And they said that to go on, we should continue what we are doing. And we continue. So you find out that if we all key into that agenda, we can achieve it. Fast forward, 2016. By 2021, we were number 2 after University of Ibadan by Times Higher Education ranking. Don't clap. Don't clap, because that is clapping for me. Let us get to a point where you're going to be clapping for yourself, for your university. So I'm just giving you, this is historical. Out of 1,527 institutions from 97 countries, we were within the band of 501 to 601. It was a major feat, because in Nigeria, I think only about 3 universities were within that band, with University of Ibadan. We had regular support and partnership from employers. Employers of labor at a point, they were coming to Lasu to have conversations with our students and recruit them. Back to back, our students were achieving success. We were first in so many sports. We were doing well in football, we were doing well in athletics, we were doing well in badminton, a whole lot of things were happening. And this was the same university that they were always on the road. That Yanova road. They are always there. But Agri Express Road, they block it. For 5 years, the students will not come out to block any road. We became an Africa Center of Excellence for innovations and transformative STEM education. Those were the things that we did. In fact, it was on the back of what we achieved at Lasu that the president gave me the national award that I got. And that was why I dedicated that award to the entire university. Because I said, the members of staff and students of this university, this award is for you. You won it. Because I was just a symbol of what you allowed me to do. The Vice Chancellor is just a symbol of your authority. He will succeed in taking the university, working together with you to that area, that excellence that you are looking at, if you support him. He cannot go anywhere if you don't support him. That is the truth. Because if there is no stability, where will excellence come from? So this morning, what are those things that I'm going to be focusing on? I'm going to be talking about relevance of mindset to a world-class university. I'm going to be talking about characteristics of a world-class university. What are those things that a world-class university must have for you to be able to say, this indeed is a world-class university? I'm going to be talking about what are those drivers that can take you forward to becoming a university of excellence or take you back to be a mushroom university. We'll talk about them briefly. And then I will close with my conclusion. So those are the three things I will briefly be looking at. I will start with what changed at Lasu. It was the mindset of members of staff and students. That was what changed. That was what we addressed. The same way the VC is addressing this issue, this was how we started. I brought people from Unilag, from Ife, I brought them down to Lasu. Mrs. Ipayeda was mentioned, Dr. Ipayeda was mentioned, was one of those who came in there. Professor Okebukola, we brought people from NUC. Let them know. Tell us, how can we achieve excellence? The same way we are sitting down to talk about it now, that was how they started with us in 2016. And we listened, and we imbibed it, and they worked for us. And that is why I believe this session this morning will work for you. It's not about him anymore. Oh, you see, we put too much problem on God. God has given us intellect. God has given us good health. God has given us opportunity to be here. We want him to now be the one to come and turn the place to a University of Excellence. No. It is for us to be determined. If you are determined to be a part of it, just let me see your hand if you are determined. Only 3 people are raising up their hand. So all the others are not interested. Please, thank you very much. You see, if you don't have a determination to be a part of it, there's no way that this university can get there. Two things that my colleagues at the Lagos State University, 2 things that they did that I will forever be grateful to them. 1, a determination for all of us to work together as a team. When the Vice Chancellor came out here to read his opening remarks, to talk about his opening remarks, he mentioned the need for us to work as a team. He mentioned it. If we don't work together as a team, we cannot do that. Second one, a determination to make a difference in the life of our institution in key areas of teaching, research, community service, and administration. So all of us, we have a role to play. The lecturers have their roles, the administrators have their roles, the students have their role. Everybody has a role to play in the system. So there must be a determination for all of us to be resolute. And let me say this. The university is structured into three groups. If you quietly check, you will find out that that is how this university, just like every other university, is structured. Number one group, the group who are determined to see the university make a difference. They are about 10%. Number two group, those, whether you like it or not, no matter how many seminars and conferences you do, their determination is this university must go down. If it does not go our way, it's a determination. They never say anything good about this university. They never talk well. That small one, that small cup that they got. They said number one university, but that small cup, is that a cup? The cup is not even gold, sir. They never say anything good. They are about 10%. There is this 80%. They are laid back, they are quiet, they are just waiting for leadership. It now depends on which of the 10% can win them over. In my own case, God was with me. The 10% that was determined took control of the university. And that was why we started. That 10% is here now. That is the 10% that can lead this university now. This is the 10%. What do I mean by that? Don't expect this hall to be filled in terms of those who will take this university to where you are going. Those of you here are the people who will do it. When you see somebody saying negative, just immediately, people know me, I will just say that one they are talking is on your own. That is not what we are. I will never go to a radio station or a TV station and say my university is derelict. I will never. I will admit and say yes, we have challenges. Like every other person has their own challenge. And then I will say, we are doing this, we are doing this. We are not yet there, but we are making progress towards there. Stop talking rubbish about Nigeria. Speak positively about Nigeria. We are not saying Nigeria is where it should be. But that is the spirit. If you go to the US, if you go to the UK, they all have their challenges. Look, in the UK, in the US, somebody will go into a shop, pack groceries, and he will push the thing out. And nobody can say anything because they know that he probably has the gun in his pocket. It has not gotten to that here now. If you go to a shop and you carry groceries, believe me, the man who will slap you from behind, it will reset your brain. So, at the end of the day, don't let us fool ourselves and think we are the worst of nations. We are not. In the same way, speak positively about your institution anywhere. You are the ambassadors. You are the ambassadors of this great institution. So speak positively about this institution anywhere you find yourself. I will say this. Achieving a change in mindset, the Vice Chancellor mentioned it here, is not easy. Let me tell you the things you are going to be confronting. There is a tradition of mistrust. There is a tradition of mistrust. And I think I know a bit about this university. Before this university was established, I was here one day when it was a polytechnic. And I was one of those locked up in the room. And they said they were going to burn where we are. I was there. They were in the boardroom. But I think God whispered to them and they forgave our sin. So that's why I'm alive till today. So don't be mistaken and think that it's going to be an easy cruise because we have had this conversation and because other distinguished colleagues have spoken with you. It is not going to be an easy cruise. You're still going to face challenges. There is a particular mindset, for instance, a mindset of members of unions thinking that they cannot be on the same page with management. It is not that they are wicked. It is possibly because of the experience they have also had over the years. So there's a mistrust of management. So they don't want to have anything because they feel management is the devil, down with them with the long spoon. But the truth of the matter, I tell my people then that who says management and union cannot be on the same side? Who says? They can be. Look, the issue between management and university at all times is issue of money. When I say money, this is not enough, we want more. That is not enough, we want more. This is not enough, we want more. But I tell people something. What is inadequate today, you have it in abundance over time. When there is sincerity of purpose. If union comes with 10 things and management is able to do 4, transparently explain to them why you are only able to do 4. And let us have a plan of how we move forward in doing the remaining 6. We have a timetable. We'll build up on it from time to time. And that time there's a question I always ask my colleagues from the union when they sit down. First and foremost, when they start and they start dancing, I will go and meet them and I will start dancing with them. We are all in the same boat. Is my salary different from yours? If you collect more, will I not get it? And I tell them something. You, Mr. Chairman, is it everything your wife wants that you're able to provide?
Okay.
You, Madam Deputy Chair, is it everything that your husband wants that you're able to give? So if you are not able to give it there, you think I'm a magician and I'll be able to do everything. My friend, it will not happen that way. Let us sit down. Let us be logical. Let us work together. And that is how we move. So you find out that existing conflicts, potential conflicts, differences in human nature, mischief makers and confusionists, scarce resources, these are the different things that you are going to be confronting. These are the different things that you are going to be confronting when you are seeking to have a change. And let me tell you why mindset is very, very important. Why we need to reflect on, when you say mindset, it's simply an English word. But when you look at the implications of mindset, you see a huge difference. I do recall in 2003, I was appointed the Director Law Center, Lagos State University. Then, the Law Center was at a point so effective that the university was getting money from the Law Center, and the Law Center was more like competing with the faculty. Not in the sense of competition, because the faculty is the mother and father of the Law Center. But the Law Center was driving so many innovations, so much so that the faculty too started changing a whole lot of things. So in one particular year, there was one gentleman, they posted him to me as the head of my admin. Then I got the letter in relation to this gentleman. Let's say I got the letter on a Thursday evening. By Thursday night, calls from different places. Don't allow them to send X to you. X is a thief. X collect bribe. X steals. X that. He forges document. He alters result. All sorts of things. By Friday, by the weekend, the barrage was so much. Then the registrar, as I was being harassed, the registrar was being harassed. The registrar called me on Monday morning and said, Mr. Vago, do you think you want me to retain that person with you or not? Because people have been calling me that the person is a terrible person. I told the registrar, I said, Oga, leave him with me. I don't allow people to poison my mind to others. Leave him with me. I said, I know I'm going to handle it. That I've also received so many things about him. When Mr. X came, I said, Mr. X, sit down. Mr. X, they've told me that you're thief, you bought results, you do this, you do that, you do this. I don't believe them. It is for you to prove yourself whether you are a thief or not. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. Mr. X turned out to be one of the people that till today I call him to do things for.
If he was doing that thing before, because I confronted him, he stopped doing it. If it was politics that they were playing, I did not allow that to disrupt him. And my colleagues there will tell you something. You see, from the VC to President Ladiupo, President Loye, if your registrar is here, he will confirm it.
If you come to my office and you tell me the Loye is this, da is that, I will ask my secretary to give you tea. While you are taking your tea, I will call the Loye, please come quickly, come. When the Loye comes, President Loye, President Ladiupo said you are a thief. Maybe there is misunderstanding. Reconcile yourself while I continue my work. Come and see people shaking. I didn't mean it that way. I was not saying it in that context. Come on. At this level, what you cannot say in public, don't say it in private. That is where the excellence in you that you are going to manifest to the university, that is where that excellence begins. That is the mindset. Why do we say some Christians are bad, some Muslims are bad? It's a mindset. What has ethnicity got to do with competence? What has religion got to do with competence? Pastor Busoya. Me, I do masquerade. And I'm a Muslim. I'm a prince now. As prince, I will not do masquerade. As a matter of fact, as I'm talking to you, masquerade festival is going on in my community. The day the account was going to come out, I was there. I'm a prince. It's my culture. But Ojusan and myself, we are best of friends. Pastor Batusi. He cannot tell you when I'm pulling him. He cannot say, but no. That is how it should be. It's a mindset that makes you or pushes you to do otherwise. So the mindset you should have is not to prejudge and preconceive that your university is bad, or that our management is bad, or that our students are bad. The mindset should be positive. How can this mindset, your positive mindset, how can it serve the purpose of an excellent world-class university? So that takes me to that question of what is an excellent or world-class university? You know, the Vice Chancellor has made it very tough. He's not asking you to just be a world-class university. He's saying you should be an excellent world-class university. Asking your name to push. I'm going to give two definitions. And you tell me which one applies. First, an entity that is of a quality or standard regarded as outstanding throughout the world. An entity that is of a quality or standard regarded as outstanding throughout the world. That is number one. The second one, an entity that is comparable to or able to compete with the best in the world. So which one of them should apply to us if we want to be a university of excellence? Which one of them should apply to us? First or second? If you believe it's the first. If you believe it is the second. If you are not sure what to believe,
Believe the truth. Believe the truth.
if you are not even sure that you don't even know what to believe, very respected colleagues, the two of them apply to us. Listen to him, an entity, and you know the two of them were captured by the Vice Chancellor. When the Vice Chancellor was giving his opening remarks, the two of them were captured by the Vice Chancellor. An entity that is of a quality or standard regarded as outstanding. We want to be regarded as outstanding. Yes. Second one, an entity that is comparable to or able to compete with the best in the world. We want to compete with the best in the world. What kind of institution are we? We are what? A university. We are a university. If tomorrow, student from Oxford is standing, student from Lasustech is standing, are they going to say, okay, students from universities that are not up there, come here? No, it's the same document they will give them to compete because they are both coming from what? A university. So at the end of the day, it is no excuse to say that our own university, we are still developing. No. You must be able to impact excellence in your students for them to compete with the best in the world. So, having understood what is it that we are striking to achieve, which is to be an outstanding institution, which is to be a university that can compete with others in the world. Having understood that, then the next question we're asking ourselves, what are those characteristics? What are the things we need to get us there? Number one, creation of knowledge. We must be an institution that is capable of creating new knowledge. When you talk about knowledge, you are talking about knowledge in terms of complementarity of knowledge. Complementarity of knowledge and discipline plurality. What is complementarity of knowledge? Complementarity of knowledge is when you are able to take the knowledge that you have inside and integrate it with the knowledge outside. The university is able to interface with you. Other universities are able to partner with you so that your own knowledge, you are mixing it together with their own knowledge. That is complementary knowledge coagulating together to achieve the purpose of innovation, to achieve the purpose of supporting the economy to grow. That is what you have. So at the end of the day, that complementarity is critical. Again, when you talk about discipline plurality, you are looking at a situation where when you are looking at inquiry into an issue, you are bringing to bear different disciplines. If today you submit a proposal to us at TED Fund, and we look at the setup of the team that we do the research, and we see it, Professor this, pharmacy, Professor that, pharmacy, Dr. this, pharmacy, Dr. that, pharmacy, Dr. this, pharmacy. That bid is not going anywhere. That bid is not going anywhere. What do we want to see? We want to see Professor this, pharmacy, Professor that, College of Medicine, Professor so, or Dr. so, ICT, Dr. this, business management or business development, because it is the totality that will bring out innovation. When you think of the how do you call it? The constituent that becomes the medication for pharmacy. The excipient, yes. When you bring them together, you are the expert in that field. You need the doctor who will look at it and be able to say, by the time we do our field studies, our testing and the rest of them, this is the kind of thing we're expecting, working together with you. When you produce it, you need it to go outside. Commercialization. For commercialization, you need the business developer. You need the business manager. All of them must come into the field. In this age and day of technology, are you going to be carrying all your medication and putting them on the wares? We are selling this here. No! You need technology to drive it out for members of the public. So you see a different... The sociologist is important for that group. The sociologist is important for that group. Because at the end of the day, he's going to bring in people looking at the mindset. What are the things that can stop people, the cultural issues that can come in, stop them from wanting to use it. So you need that plurality of discipline to come together. So when you talk about creation of knowledge, these are the different things you must look at. When you talk of a university of excellence, when you talk of a world-class university, if you are not working towards being able to create knowledge, it will be a challenge. I do recall when Lasustech became number 2 after University of Ibadan. Can you imagine what Professor Dusai and myself, what we sat down the day the result came out, what we sat down and were discussing? Just guess what we were discussing. Anybody here who can guess what we are discussing? Sir, what Professor Dusai and myself, because that night when it happened, I called him and said, Director, you have taken us there. Thank you very much. And then I said, we are going to meet tomorrow morning. When we met the body, guess what we are discussing? People with him were bold. We were ready. And we were not just thinking, how can we become number 1? That morning, we put a call through to Times Higher Education. We want to be trained to become number 1. Was that not what we did? We said we want to be trained to become number 2 is not satisfactory to us. We want to be number 1. Who says we cannot be University of Ibadan? They are our mother, they are our father, we respect them, but we can beat them and we sit and say your child has beaten you. Who says? That was what we were discussing. We sat down and we were already entering into that conversation to become number 1. Second one, research performance. And for this one, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I must doff my cap for your vice chancellor. I tell people, a leader who cannot work with those who are better than him, who cannot work with those who are more intelligent than him, is not a leader. When you are threatening that the person there is very brilliant, look, whether Odusoya did that research to 100, when they are going to say, let us thank this university, they will say, Mr. Vice Chancellor, it's me now. Me, I will use him for footnote. I'll say, we must thank Professor Odusoya. That is a footnote. It's still me, the Vice Chancellor, that they will thank. So why should I be threatened? This man brought so much value to research. He took us away from just talking about basic research for promotion purposes. Basic research that we do and put on the list. How do we realize something that will turn into innovation that we can commercialize as a university? That was where he was taking us. That was where he was taking us. This is it. I thank you so much. Let me now reveal something to him today. Why did I pick him as director of research? He was away because he's not as you look at him, he's not a man that sits in one place. It's this work that is keeping him sitting in one place. He's always all over. You what? You know that one. He was out. One day I was just talking to my mom. I said, I'm trying to have a research thing, blah, 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 blah. He said, have you had interaction with him? I said to him, I've not had any interaction with him. I don't even know him that well. He said, that is your guy. He was not around though. He was not around. I said, really? Yeah. He said, that is the guy. He said, that guy. He just went on and on. You remember now? That conversation. He just went on and on and on and on. Talking to me about the Messiah. I said, really? I kept it in my pocket. So, I just called him out of the blues. I said, this is Larry Fago. He said, yeah, busy. I said, when can we have a conversation? I did not tell him until this morning that it was Lasustech that gave me the news. And he did us so proud. He did us so proud. Because at that moment, look, he set up a system whereby, for research, you will have, when you have prepared your proposal, it will be subjected to peer review internally. After it has been subjected to peer review internally, he will now bring experts from Ibadan, Unilag, Akure, ABU. He will bring them to now have an external review of your proposal. Tell me, when you finally submit that to TED form, how will it not be accepted? It will be difficult. Because it has gone through a rigorous process of peer review. And the goal is the research must be impactful on the society. The society, you have an advantage. You, Lasustech, you have an advantage over other traditional universities. The advantage is you have always been doing applied research. So it's just for you to step it up. You have always worked on the basis of what can we do to make life easier for people? What innovation can we bring? What can we manufacture? What can we develop? So it is for you to start working more with the industry. And this man is the guru when it comes to that. So you have the thing in-house for you to use. And that was the kind of thing we were doing. So I think God has buttered your bread. In that is your trajectory. You now have a man who can drive it with you. So all of you working together as a team, I don't think there's anything that should stop. Good reputation, nationally and internationally. That's the third one. I've talked about creation of knowledge. I've talked about research performance. I'm talking on good reputation. Let me tell you what good reputation does to an institution. It makes both the staff and the students beneficiaries of goodwill all over. When you have good reputation, people will come for you. I say it with pride. From what happened 2016 to 2021, I think about 5 vice chancellors have come out of last year. 5. About 4 or 5 vice chancellors have come out of that university. Deputy vice chancellors have come out of that university. Registrars have come out of that university for different universities. Students from the university have become graduate assistants, not only in Nigeria, but also overseas. Because our students, when our students talk, you need to be there. They are not arrogant, but they talk with confidence. We are Lasu and proud. They will be there. We are Lasu. It's a confidence of test me, try me, I will deliver. Test me, try me. That is why I was talking about passion. There must be passion and energy behind what you are doing. There must be energy and passion. And that is what you require. Fourth one, talented academics, talented non-academics, talented students. I am never scared of people poaching my staff. It's because we have good material, that is why they are coming to poach us. Let them poach. The person you think Professor Basira will forget that she came in from Lasu. She can't forget now. You think President Noye will forget that she came? His office is still there.
unless you make this place juicy. And then you feel that, oh, I think there's a greener pasture here at the state. The Professor Basirat is actually wearing green. So, kind of a greener pasture. That is the truth. So it is, when people say that people are coming to coach, don't mind it. You continue to churn out good materials. Churn out good materials. Churn out people with passion. Let them coach. You're more or less like your dot is on every other institution they go. Reference will be made to you at Lasu. Reference will be made to you at Lasustech. If people go from here to develop other places, that is how the references will be made to you. Accountability. Accountability is another thing that must come out from the world-class institution. I do recall when we were bidding for a World Bank proposal. It was the World Bank proposal on Center of Excellence. One day I just got a call from a representative of the World Bank. And they told me, they said, we want your account of your institution in the last 3 years or last 4 years. We want it, they called me around 3 o'clock and they said, we want it by 7 p.m. So I had just about 4 hours. What were they trying to do? To ensure that I don't manipulate anything. And I told them, I said, you will have it before 7 p.m. I can assure you, very distinguished for it. Within 2 hours, they had it. Why? Because from the first day, we agreed on accountability. And we had something that turned into competition in all faculties and colleges. There will be an end of year annual report. That end of year annual report is the way you sleep that you find yourself there. If your faculty has been inactive, you will see that your space will show that no activity, no activity, no activity. You'll be embarrassed as the dean. You'll be embarrassed as the provost. As the HOD, you'll be embarrassed. As the director of the center, as the deputy director of your unit, you'll be embarrassed that you have nothing to offer. That means you are not contributing anything to the enterprise. So it became a healthy thing. That's why people will ask me that, Mr. Vice Chancellor, is it the case that this university does not sleep? 24/7 is one activity or the other. I said that is why I'm able to live my own life and enjoy myself. Let them, because it was healthy rivalry. Everybody wanted to make their mark. Everybody wanted to make their mark. And that's why I tell people, universities are not tied to one person. I do recall I was away on a trip. Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration called me and said, this is we want to take a decision. So this is the issue. So what decision should we take? I said, Mr. Deputy Vice Chancellor, what if you are not able to get me? Take it that you are not able to get me. Bye-bye, sir. And I switched off. Why must you call me to take a decision? If you are not able to take that decision alone, call the team together. Think through it together and take a decision. That decision becomes binding to all of us. Any decision taken in good faith, there can be no evil machination behind it. Even if there are errors, you can correct the errors. Even that the error cannot be corrected, I will stand up and say, Chairman of Council, it was an error on our part. We took the best of decision, but it just went AY. I will stand up for it. I will say, we promise that we will correct it. That is all there is to it. Because we are acting in good faith. We are not perfect, we are not God, we are not anywhere near it. So we own up to the fact that, oh, that was an error. But most times you find out that 99% of situations, you take the right decision. If you consult with others. If you are not running around like the emperor in your unit, or your directorate, or your faculty, if you are not behaving like the emperor, Lord of the Manor, I know it all. Nobody knows it all.
staff. That day, within 2 hours, we packaged all our annual reports together. We forwarded it to them. They called me to say, Mr. Vice Chancellor, we must congratulate you for that. What if we are just running around a faculty? What do you have? Quickly send it to us. We want to compile it. We don't do that. By March of the succeeding year, the annual report of last year is ready. By March of the following year again, the annual report of the second year is ready. So that was the kind of thing we were doing. Accountability must be your watchword if you want to be a world-class institution. The sixth one, world-class facilities and infrastructure. One of the things that you have as an advantage, and I will tell you this, in this campus, you have facilities. You have facilities, you have buildings. When I say you have facilities, I'm not saying that it is enough. But I'm saying that compared to a number of institutions, you have facilities. You have space. You have space. So, it depends on how you utilize the small one you have, whether you can get a new one. I can tell you, if you don't manage this auditorium well, give it 2 years, it will be dilapidated. All the seats will be torn. At last we had something that I think at one time the registrar was the lead of the monitoring of all our facilities. Your registrar here, he was the lead. Before you can have access to a facility, because all our facilities are shared facilities, including the one in your faculty, it can be used by another faculty. Nobody is the owner of, no. They are all shared facilities. So, before you can use a facility, you must see your application to use it. There must be a guarantee that if you spoil anything there, you will repair it. And our facilities were able to maintain them. So there must be accountability. And there must be effective use of your facilities. So in terms of that, I'm looking at your laboratories, your workshops, technology integration centers, your educational resources, sports and social amenities, health and wellness support, accommodation. All of these facilities, you must maintain them. That is when you can build up on them. That is when you can grow them. Because when they are doing assessment of world-class institutions, these are part of the things they look at. They want to see your sports facility. They want to see your laboratories. These are the things. When they are doing ranking, whether national ranking or international ranking, these are the kind of things that they look at. Finally, on that point, internationalization of your institution. You must be competitive nationally and globally. And that is why, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, one of the things that I know you are very adept in doing, and I think it's something that you should encourage your institution to do. Don't run away from any ranking authority. Don't worry if you come last. Don't worry. Nobody is going to get a mark for coming last. No. But when you come last, you are able to learn what is it that we ought to do that we are not doing. And then you start correcting it. I am never afraid of competition. I am never. I don't go to competition with a desperation to win. I go to competition with a determination that I want to win. But if I don't win, because I'm not going there with a desperation to win, I don't feel sad, bad, and then looking for no. I just go back and I start repackaging myself. That next year is coming. We are going to be there again. Each and every one of us must work together with the VC and members of his management. You must work together with them to make sure that we are preparing ourselves for different ranking exercises. Don't ever shy away from it, because those are the things that will take you out. You see, you want a situation where, with time, you are able to say, oh, we have Professor this from University of that in Toronto. We have Professor that from University of this in the UK. They are able to come in here. Even if they start coming in to spend 1 week, 2 weeks, it's part of it. Even if they start by coming for just 2 days, it is part of it. It is on your record that Professor did. One of the things we are doing at Lasustech when we are rebranding, we were bringing people from all over the world. Nobody's idea was too small to be considered. Nobody's idea was too small to be considered. We were bringing people from different parts, South Africa, UK, from Europe, from Asia. We were just trying to bring people. It was part of our internationalization process. If you don't internationalize yourself and you think, well, we are doing it well, your case will just be like that of some vice chancellor. I say them all over, not only in Nigeria, in Africa, they are always setting up spurious awards of best university in Africa, given by one mushroom organization that has no name. Best university in Africa, best vice chancellor in the world. When I was busy, people know the moment you come with best vice chancellor, they will trash it. But I don't do it. I don't go for something. I don't. The only one I took was that of the national productivity, and then my senior advocate rank. Every other one, I tell them, when I have finished my term, and you think I merit being given an award, come and give me them. And I must say a big thank you to my colleagues at the Lagos State University. When I was leaving, I got award though, yay! I'm not sure there's any faculty, unit, department that did not give me. They gave me award, they gave me gift. In fact, if I wanted to set up
electronic
I'm telling you, I can set up and start selling refrigerators, air conditioners, cookers. I was too many of them. So much so that me, I also started behaving like I will give somebody. Do you need a refrigerator? Do you need a cooker? Give him one. Because there were so many. My colleagues were asking themselves to make all of what more do you need than that? Peer recognition is the test of recognition. Peer recognition, when your colleagues, when they recognize you and they're thanking you, nothing can beat that. So don't go for anything spurious. You are set out, you are cut out for excellence. Go for the best. Go for ranking. That is what you should do. And I come to the final aspect of it. Drivers of whether you are moving towards or away from being a world-class university. The first one there is governance and stability. If your university is not stable, forget everything that we have been talking since morning. It will be nothing more than Turechi. All that we have been talking since morning will be nothing. If your university is not stable, a university that is not stable you cannot be focused to do anything. You'll be too distracted. Either you are taking yourself to the police station, or you are dragging yourself to an officer, or you are just doing all sorts of things that have no meaning. That is what happens when you are distracted. So, governance. And you see, there's something people fail to realize. The university environment is one of the most complex to manage. Why? From time immemorial, it's a setup created for dispute. It is for disputation. They did not start a university for you to be backslapping. They started university when it was started, so that people can be engaging in dispute. So why do you think that suddenly, in the 21st century, we now want everything to be smooth? Look, when we sit down like this, it is to argue. That is where a university was set up. Universities were set up to be arguing and because they realized it is from argument. It is from when you are disputing issues that you bring out critical thinking, abstract solutions. What people cannot, it is from argument. You yourself, that is when you realize that, okay, it can go this way. Something that you agree today that it can go this way, trust me. Somebody will come in tomorrow and say, why? What? Under what circumstance? And then the argument will be killed. But that is how it was set up. So, you cannot kill argument. So, it is to manage it. Manage that different models came up at different times. The first model that was brought up was what they call the bureaucratic model. Bureaucratic model of having a leader on top. And the leader will determine and say, okay, let us do this, let us do that. You know the way it happens in the civil service, when the PS says, and it happens. When the commissioner says, and it happens. It does not happen like that in the university. It does not happen like that. No. HOD will say, hey, the general lecturer will say, sir, but what if? And that is where it starts. Because that is the way the structure is. So, what they found out as the problem of the bureaucratic model was the fact that it did not allow for the complex organization to be taken into account, so that every unit will have opportunity to say something. It was too autocratic, and that was why the bureaucratic model was abandoned. Then they had what they call the collegiate model. The problem with the collegiate, you know, when you say the collegiate model, all of us, we are sitting here, is a collegiate. So we all take decisions together. Agree. Yes. But one day, you hear agree, some people will say yes. Some people will say no. How do you move forward in a collegiate? Because it's a collegiate. There's nobody who has privacy, who can say, okay, gentlemen, I have had the yes, I have had the no. Okay, as the VC, I want to say, let us go this way. And everybody will follow. Because if that is the structure, they will follow. But if that is not the structure, they will not follow. In a collegiate, there was no primacy like that. So that was what collapsed the collegiate model. And that was why everybody at the point abandoned the collegiate model. And then they started off on what you call the legislative framework model. The legislative framework model is your enabling law. It created room for everybody. It created room for the role of everybody in the system. You see the statutory organs. There is something that is the role of council. There is something that is the role of Senate that council cannot do. There is something that is the role of congregation. There is something that is the role of department, faculties. There are some decisions. If Mr. Vice Chancellor sits in his office and take it without the input of the faculty, it must come. In fact, if the dean decides to take the decision without the input of the department, it will not succeed. And that is the legislative framework that has brought a semblance of progress to running of universities. That is it. So, in that governance process, there is what you call grievance procedure. So, if there are issues, the document, whether you are looking at the enabling statute, whether you are looking at the conditions of service, whether you are looking at other bylaws, that the resolutions of council at different times, the resolution of Senate at different times, all of them would have captured how do you complain. Gentlemen, what you have been saying from morning till now, as I said, don't ever believe in smooth sailing. When there are issues, fall back on your grievance procedure. It is because people, let me tell you what destroys the grievance procedure. When somebody, instead of falling back on grievance procedure, decides to call his brother at Alausa to say, sir, now what is happening at Ibadan, I don't like it. I'm entitled to promotion, they have refused to give me the promotion. And his brother, a big man, decides to call Mr. Bisi. I'm sure you have to promote my brother out. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. Or union. The victim has not complained or followed the procedure. Union is already jumping in. All we are saying. When they, you see, at the early stages of Lasustech, when they come like that, when the unions come, and they sit with me and say, sir, has the victim complained? They will be looking at it. I said, no, don't look, let us stop. Has the victim complained? They said, okay, you know, the thing is, some of these things are they are not like you. Some of these things, I will say, I understand, sir. I understand. They are saying they are not like you because there is a mindset of they have always embarrassed us. They are saying they are not like me because there is a mindset of we have always had conflict between ourselves. But me, I was desirous that we must use the system and allow it to work. I'll tell them that. One thing I am going to leave with you, sir. Let us follow that process. When it gets to my table, let us see whether I will do it honestly and sincerely or not. Trust me with that. Over time, people started to trust themselves. People started to trust themselves, and we were making progress. People started leaving out the use of force. There was one particular incident. NASU, very tough union. Very, very tough union. But you know, I think when you also as a leader, when you also subject yourself to the law and work within the purview of the law, others too over time will start following you. And they will also respect the law. As NASU, one day, the staff quarters at Iba Housing Estate, some members of the estate went there and harassed them, disturbed them, and at a point they told them that if you come to this place tonight, we will burn the entire staff quarters down. They told them. They have been arguing with them before. They did not call me. They have been arguing with the estate people, threatening each other. When the estate people now told them that you think this is your university, if we sleep in this camp, if you sleep in this estate tonight, we'll burn all of you before morning. National came to me and said, "This is sir. You know, my father always tells me something. There is this adage. When a young man kills a mouse, he will eat it alone. When a young man kills a rabbit, he will eat it alone. But the day he killed an Arogidigba, what is Arogidigba? I don't know that one. Wait, when is Arogidigba? Thank you, man. The day he killed an Arogidigba, he will take it up to the parents that I have killed something or I'm in trouble. That day they now came and said, this is sir. There's a problem with our housing estate. They said if you come back tonight, they will burn every place down. I said, I'm aware, you have been doing it on your own now. Go and see. So I said, let us stop this way. Do you want me to do it the way you will want me to, the way you want? Or you want me to do it the way I think it should be done? You are looking at yourself. I said, let me break it down for you. The way you will want me to do it is you want me to invite the police, invite security agents, bring in SSS, station them there to protect you. That is what you will want. Because that is what you believe and understand. My own way is different. My own way is to douse it and bring the issue down. So which one do you want? This is Use your way. Use your way. Okay. In using my way, I said what we are going to do. You know, part of what we did, we have some elders that we know. Come rain, come shine, they will speak the truth. Come rain, come shine, they will speak the truth. We lost one of them in a motor accident sometime back. In a motor accident not too long ago. Professor Lai Osho, he was one of those elders. Distinguished Professor Anateka, one of those elders. We have them there in that group. They are the elders. And they will speak the truth. Whoever you may be, they will tell you the truth. I called the elder. I said, sir, we are in trouble. This is the mess we have created at Iba. I need you to go and resolve it for us. Of course, that is their task. That is why we have them there. So the elders nominated about 3 of their teams. And they went to Iba. And they went there, appealed to the community people, they did everything. You know, in going there to also meet the people, they bought 2 bottles of wine and gave them that we are come to meet with you. We are here to resolve issues. Even the teeth and the tongue, they fight. So if we do something wrong, you can tap us, but please don't burn us down. By the time they finished, they came back. My people were apprehensive of going home. I now made fun of it. I said, that's true. So as tough as you are, you fear something like this. So external people can scare you. But the truth of the matter is, they resolved it. And they now told me, they said, the people told them that we were expecting your soldiers. We were expecting the policemen. We were waiting that you cannot maintain them there for more than 1 month because we won't have the money to sustain them. After 1 month, when they go, we will now go back there. That was how I went to the doctor. So at the end of the day, I will plead with you. Every one of you here, your mantra should be, allow the governance process of this institution to work. Use the grievance procedure for your complaints. Let it be escalated until, you know, it is possible you can escalate issue to the visitor. It will go from stage to stage until it gets to the visitor, and then the visitor will resolve it. So it is important that you allow that to happen. Again, one of the things you find out in the governance process of the legislative framework that I've told you is that there are checks and balances. If HOD should do something that you don't like, what you can do with the thing, it is there. If it is the student, the way you should deal with them is there. So all of this should come into the office. Then I come to quality of leaders. Whether it's in the unit, whether it is in the faculty, whether it is in the college, anywhere you want, allow merit to operate, not sentiment. I do recall an occasion. I already had somebody in my head that I was going to use as the Dean Student Affairs. I already had the person in my head. Then I was having a conversation with one of my strongest critics. One of my strongest critics. If I mention his name here, my colleagues will know the person. He came to me because for me, we are not here to fight. We are here to work for this institution. So if I need my critique to sit with me to discuss, I don't have any, I'm not sure about it. I'm not arrogant. I will call him, oh yeah, let us talk. So when we were talking, I just bounced it on him. I said, as a matter of fact, I'm trying to get somebody who will come in as Dean of Students. So he said, Dean of Students. If you pick, he mentioned one guy, Obayori. Then if you pick Obayori is fair-minded, but very firm and tough. I said, who is Obayori? He said, one guy in science. I said, do you have his phone number? I connected his phone number. So after he left my office, I just called. He picked. He said, "Yes, who is this?" I said, "My name is Larry Fago." He said, "Yeah, this is her." I said, "My dear brother, can we talk for about 5-10 minutes? Are you available?" He said, "I'm available." He said, "Come over." He came in, sat down. We started talking. Papa. Within 10 minutes, I knew this is my deal of today. Within 10 minutes of our conversation, I knew this is my deal of today. I realized I had before me a guy that was fair-minded, a guy that was bold, and a guy that would met out discipline where it is necessary. Because in life, fairness is critical. You must be fair, but you must be bold, and you must apply sanction. And I'll come to discipline in a moment. And that was how Abayori became the dean of students. Gentlemen, after the first year, I was the one begging Abayori. I said, "You are not going anywhere. You are going to serve a second year." And I think he served a third year. After the second year, I said, "You are not going home. You will do a third year." Because he was, look, the students thought that Abayori and myself that were using juju over there. Because of the way that we were very much in control. And it was just because of fairness and discipline. When they go wrong, no matter how close you are to it, you will be sanctioned. We will be methodical in sanctioning you in line with the rules and regulations, but we will be sanctioned. But when they do right, we will celebrate them. And that was it. Obayori was standing for it. So, quality of leaders. I tell people that in terms of leaders, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished members of management, you must be competent people, knowledgeable people, and courteous people. It must not be based on politics and sentiment. That is what can take this institution out there. And you must follow the law. I remember one day, we were going to appoint an HOD. Everybody in the faculty, they sent a paper to me and said, "That is the HOD." So anytime it comes like that, I will call my dean student, the deputy director of VC's office. Deputy director of VC's office. I will ask her, "Go and look at our rules and tell me whether this nomination coming from the dean is in line with the rules and regulations." She went there and did it, and my the deputy registrar VC's office. Amazing woman. She came back and this for me. When I was appointed VC, she was I think the only deputy registrar that did not greet me. She did not come to congratulate me. So when I assumed, I called her, I said, "Come. People are congratulating you, did not congratulate me." I said, "Okay, I just want to disturb you. You are doing your work, I am doing my work." I said, "You are going to be my deputy registrar." Yes. I said, "You will be my deputy registrar." So taciturn, because even me when I'm angry and I want to do something, she's telling me, "VC, don't let us do that." And I'm saying, "That is how I'm going to do it." She said, "VC, okay, sign in that that's how you want to do it." I will drop. That's the kind of person you need around you. Bold people who will tell you to do the right thing. So when they brought the list, she came back and said, "This is her. The person that ought to be appointed as HOD is Dr. So. So I put a call to the dean. I said, "Mr. Dean, this is the person that you ought to appoint. Why have you gone for this?" He said, "This man, you don't really like him the way he does his things. The way he did." I said, Dean, is that the law? Is your sentiment the law?" I said, "Sir, please, do the right thing." They said he has been involved in this. I said, "Bring his file and show me the queries that he received for the period." No query. And you want me to just say with the man was a man that he offended at one time? No, I don't tell historicals like that. If there's no record of it, appoint him. And I told the man when he was appointed, they said you did this and this and this at one time. Please, all eyes are on you. If you fail, of course, he performed. because he knew everybody was watching him. So follow the rules, but go for competence. Quality assurance must be a critical thing for you. Quality assurance. Let me tell you what we did with our quality assurance. We had a committee that comprised Professor Okebukola at the top of it. Then we had Professor Amidu Soni as the deputy. That committee was there. Then we now had a team of field people. The team of field people was led by one Professor Okuneye. Let me tell you what I now did to Okuneye that was shocking. I called Okuneye, I said, Okuneye, I'm appointing you because I know you are a man that is principled. I know you are a man that will stand for what is right. I don't want to know your members. You go and appoint your members. Keep your members close to your chest. Let them quality assure everything that we do. So, Okebukola Amidu Soni committee, we set out the rules for them. They were the ones applying the rules. And they quality assure everything we do. Even to start an event, they will know whether we started late. The thing is, when you are there and you are not starting late, you don't know who is a member of the committee there. Because it's only their chairman, Okuneye, who knew them. I don't know them. And they are there. So you are there if you after roping, when you rope for convocation or you rope for an inaugural lecture. You know you cannot just be walking and then remove your rope. You must rope properly in an enclosed area and go back to that place when you are finished and derope yourself. These are things with traditions. These are things with rules. They are not all I can cover here this morning. But when you have a quality assurance committee, they will put them in place so that you do things in line with standard practice. They will score us because after every event there must be a result from the quality assurance. They will score us 2 over 10, 1.5 over 10. Yes. At the early stages, there was a day we got 0 over 10. We ate. They said we did well in eating, cocktail and everything. But in other things that can bring pride, we failed. But after some time, we started getting 9 over 10. There were times we got 10 over 10. Because we also started monitoring ourselves. In fact, you see that when we want to do something, you see President Basira will say, don't do that way. You don't know who is there. You don't know who is monitoring you. That is how people started whispering to themselves. It became a culture. It became a culture. Excellence must become your culture. So quality assurance is critical. Then I come to commitment to discipline of staff and students. There must be nothing like a begging culture. Begging culture destroys institutions. One of the things you cannot do, you cannot commit an infraction of the rules and call me, Larry Fago, to come and help you beg. I will tell you to your face that I'm sorry I don't beg. I don't beg. Because my mantra is, if you are bold enough to contravene rules and regulations, then you must be bold enough to take the discipline. And when the system is meting out discipline to people, unions, leaders, do not interfere. If you continue to interfere, look, you are creating a precedent for tomorrow's crisis. Because when tomorrow comes, somebody now wants to do something and the system wants to discipline him, the person will say, after all, you did not discipline X yesterday now, and you did not discipline Y 2 days ago now. Why is it that you are now singling me out? You know, I remember when I first started, we had a meeting with the union, and there were so much issues. And at a point, I was in tears. And one of them looked at me, one of the union leaders then looked at me and said, crying, Vice Chancellor. He said it. And I said, my brother, I'm not crying for myself. I'm crying for all of you because I know myself. If you don't stop all of these things now, when we start, one day all of you will beg me. That's when you realize that I am just a trustee of discipline. I cannot waive discipline. I cannot waive discipline. I remember some chiefs coming to meet me and they were saying, this is a I just went and I brought out the regulations of the university and I said, sir, maybe you can show me where Omawa and Omogberi. Oh yes! If you show me where Omawa and Omogberi has been defined, maybe that will guide me, sir. They said, this is you are mocking us. I said, no, the best, it's mocking you, but you don't waive infractions. When you waive infractions, it breeds impunity. Discipline, gentlemen, stand up for discipline. Stand by discipline. I tell people, when I was busy, I do that. The first day I got there, as we were about driving out of the university, I saw them going on one way. I told my driver, stop. Then they quickly called and said, this is not following you, this is not following you, this is not following you. So they came back. And when they came back, I told them, I said, gentlemen, the next time you go on one way, I will hand you over to safety officer for you to be disciplined. I will hand you over. It is either I leave on time or I cancel the thing if I cannot make the timing. But to go on one way is an aberration. Because you are busy, because you are registered, because you are a member of management, you go on one way. Because you are busy, you are registered, you violate the rules of the university. Because you are dean, you violate the rules of the university. I recall a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, came to meet me. He said, this is her. I don't like the way these audit people do things. I was sweating my head, killing myself for the university. And then the audit people, they gave me a query. I'm sure Professor Dusa, I know the person I'm talking about. When he showed me the no query, I said, my brother, calm down. Because he's my friend, my very good friend, in fact, he was my brother. He said, calm down. I opened my draft. I brought out my own query on it. I said, see, what is this? He said, I wrote body. I said, oh. So, they queried me too. Because what did I do? I called the director of internal audit. I don't want to go to jail. If you see anything that is wrong from my office, query it. None of my colleagues, none of my subordinates must send anything in my name and then you approve of it. No, do your work. Do your work. And when I was telling him, it was Olayinka, he was that's this man. He was director of internal audit. When I was telling him, I said, Olayinka, do your work. I'm not telling you alone. You can see that I have people as witnesses. Do your work. Discipline. Okay. I think I'm through. Discipline is clear. Then, commitment to rule of law and due process. You must be committed to rule of law and due process. I'm sorry, busy. You must be committed to rule of law and due process. Do things in line with the rules and regulations. Then, a student-centered approach. Respect your students. Don't treat your students as if they are nuisance. Don't treat your students as if they are irritant. Treat them with respect. Respect begat respect. Treat them well, and they will always remember their institution anywhere they go. Finally, when it comes to funding and resources, funding will never be enough. But if they employ any of us in any company, the minimum position they will give us is the position of manager. So we can think and come up on how to maintain sustainable funding. Before we left, we worked on it. We had a document. Before I left in 2021, with this great team, we had a document on how the university can even start surviving. If at a point the state government says we are no longer going to fund you, we're already approaching that. Admission process. Input determines output. If you admit people based on the quality and the rules and regulations on ground, you will see that you will have outstanding students who will project the good image of the university. I do recall a day when somebody called me and said, after we had closed admission, they said, you have to reopen it for us. I just called my father. I said, Kabiyesi, you called me early in the morning. What are you requesting? He said I was requesting admission. What is my response? He said you said admission has closed and that you buy the funds for the student next year when they apply. That was how we closed it. If I did not reopen the portal for my own father, how would I reopen it for him? My conclusion, a world-class university is possible if we are ready to play our respective roles. It begins with a mindset backed up by bold and inspirational action. I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity.
But I'm sure there are still those many things. And I'm not sure many of you now know why you do many things the way you do them. Is that not so? That's university culture. Interestingly, I was about to see answering my brain. It was Roswell Bowles Senior. But we were students in the MPH class in 1991. And since then, that's about 2 years ago, we have become we're twin brothers. That's why everybody knows us. And now I know that Sheku is the one that put me into trouble. And that's it. I used to think it was Akiola, but now the truth is out. That's just one trick. When I came up from Ibadan, it was just to take life easy. And then the first was come and give the orientation lecture. I never seen his face. I was on sabbatical and I went. Then they were going to appoint director of fire service. I was okay, he called me. Then I returned, they said, come and be director of the service. Looked at it. And thank God it went well. This is, we have submitted our data for ranking already. And that's not another for impact ranking. We have done that already. So we're making progress. We will simply say thank you, sir. And may I ask Professor Olari to come and present a plaque on our behalf to you. Alright, so it's there.
Gentlemen, it is a rare privilege, indeed, I'm short of words, a great honor to be the one to do this presentation. To my Oga, my mentor, my everything. All what you are seeing in this university today when I came on board is as a result of what the tutelage I went through under him as the DC. He was always, if I'm called by two in the midnight to give you a task. So I want to sincerely say it's an honor for me, sir, to be the one to present this award. Sir, this is just a token from us to you. And on behalf of my VC, Professor Umuyiwa Ujusoya, the entire management of the Lagos University of Science and Technology, the staff and students as well, we present this token to you, Professor Olariwaju Adigunfagbo. But I'm adding that so that everybody will know. Olariwaju Adigunfagbo, my boss, as a keynote speaker at one day orientation workshop on building an excellent world-class university. Sir, accept this token from us. Thank you.
We would like to proceed to the second lecture, and then we'll have to break. Because Professor C2 must depart. So I am sure Professor Gon will see, and they will take it after that.
Please, like second lecture, will be taken by the and before that, Dr. There to decide.
I have the honor and privilege to do this citation for Professor Adishegun Fatu, now Professor of Medicine, Public Medicine and Public Health. He is presently Vice Chancellor of Ondo State. He is presently the Vice Chancellor of University of Medical Science, Ondo State. He was formerly the Provost, College of Health Sciences, Obafemi Awolowo University. I will talk on his educational background. Professor Adishegun Fatu graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU, 1987. Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery degree, with distinction in community health. And he won the Lawrence Omole Award for the best graduate student in community health. He obtained a Master's of Public Health and Community Medicine and became a fellow of West African College of Physicians in 1995. Professional and administrative career. Professor Adishegun has received several recognitions and awards and has also served as a consultant with several government agencies as well as international development organizations, including WHO, UNICEF, UNDP, World Bank, USAID, CDC, and CDC-funded groups. He also participated in DFID funded projects. He won the federal government award as the best candidate in patron examination of Faculty of Public Health, National Program Medical College of Nigeria in 1992. He also won the Summa Lord Honor and was the best graduating student among them. I have the honor and privilege once again to introduce a now Professor of Medicine who has done so much in the field of reproductive health and is so well published all over the world in reproductive health. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, sir. It's such a delight and great pleasure to be here this morning. And please don't mind my voice. I think a little bit under the weather. So it will be as strong as that of Professor Larry Tongio. Really, I am delighted to be here, and particularly to be in the company of the great people who are here this morning. And I want to thank my friend, my brother, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Oluwodusanya, for the privilege to be here. Thank you very much, sir. I want to thank the other members of the management and thank you for the great work you are doing, taking this place off in such a very thoughtful and strategic way. It's a great pleasure to have to mount the stage with a very good brother of mine. We told you by secondary school together. We are also a man who work together, and we are not very things together. And I know you might that be a tough task to come and start speaking after Larry asked. I think we couldn't have had a better person to have set the stage for us this morning in terms of using the keynote. And I'm sure one of us have learned a lot. I have taken a lot of food from it. Thank you very much for that. But not only a lecture, but a lecture that is true to type. Born out of experience, showing realities about how we can to become great in this place. So that person will be somebody, it is like somebody I know. Alright, I'm going to spend 30 minutes only, like minutes. And I know that the 30 minutes is not long enough time to do many things. But I do hope that we can plant the seed this morning, that hope will germinate the time. There are two things I have, sir, are you presenting? I have a presentation. Okay. There are two things that I hope I can do with this 30 minutes. To intermingle the personal dimensions with the institutional dimension. And there are three things I want to talk about. Number one, to talk about research in the context of what we have called the world-class university, or what I also term the stars university. Number two, think a little bit about what's the foundation for truly doing great research and being effective in transformation. And finally, talk about how can we outwork beyond that next night. Talk about how we foster excellence in the area of research and transformation. And believe me, I won't wait for them. I'll just keep on talking, but I'll take it. I'd like to start one of the books I have enjoyed with. It's titled, What Are Universities For? And I would like to quote this from that book. The author, Stefano Collini, which published this book, said, and I quote, I work in the knowledge and human resources industry. My company, and it's talking about universities, specializes in two kinds of products. Number one, we manufacture high quality, multi-skill units of human capacity. I really shall have time to talk around that because the fact had made the foundation about that. Ultimately, what we are producing are not just students. If you want to be a world-class university, our product must reflect world-class quality. So it's not just about producing graduates, but quality. And they are multi-skilled. Not just that they are good in what they have studied, but they are global citizens by their orientation and by the quality of thinking that they put out there. And said we produce this to this, commercially relevant, not promotion related, commercially relevant, cutting edge, new knowledge, end of it. So let me move on from there to say, we always ask ourselves, what do we do as a university? And we say do research, teaching, and services. That's good, but there's something that we must realize. When I became a vice chancellor, the first week I came, and I knew we needed to generate money, and I started talking about how we move forward. People tell me, yes, let's establish big dream, let's establish, and I'm like, that is not my business. I don't have anything against universities producing bread. I don't have a problem with producing water. But that's not my primary responsibility as a university. And I like what I said, listen to this example. As a young lecturer, my first major project was a $1 million project for 5 years. I ran that from 2013 to 2018. I got another $1 million that ran 5 more years. And then I got a $200,000 for that project. So I told them, the university I was working with, got 10% for that. I said 10% of 1 million is how much? So I told them, how much bread do you sell? I'm not talking about Yeri. I told you, I tell you, how much bread do you sell for $100,000? I said, so when we talk about selling bread, I'm like, it's because you don't understand some reality. That one project will wipe out the entirety of those bread and water businesses. Am I saying don't do bread? That's not my problem. I'm simply saying that it's because we are not looking at the thing that matter more or matter most. What is it that distinguishes a university from a secondary school? You all teach in secondary school, right? Talk to me. Okay. We do services too. What distinguishes of the mark is research. Because a professor does not read a book just to teach. He brings what he has learned, he brings the product of what he has done. Otherwise, he's no better than a school teacher. Hello, sir. That's what he make a professor. He's professing. He has a command of the subject, not from reading, but from the experience and the reality of the product he has brought forth to the knowledge industry. And so when we talk about promotion and produce paper, sometimes we think like which paper am I? The paper that nobody is quoting. One day in Ife, when I was provost, I was in the finance committee. We just finished a finance committee. No, we did a finance committee. I think we did first. And we promoted many professors. So we went to finance committee meeting. And then they said, okay, let's allocate 5,000 to library. Know what you are allocating. What government has given us. That's not what we need. 5,000. Let's just give them 5,000. So and then I wasn't talking. And this was like, propose, I'm not talking. I said, I'm not talking. But when we finish, I have one question, just permit me. So when we finish, he said, propose, what's the question? I said, sir, if we are truly producing so many professors, how come we are so poor? What have they translated to in research funding, in innovation, in patents? And I said, that's the only question I have. Of course, the room went silent. Teaching is important for us to produce the modern skilled quality people. But the research is what is our distinguishing mark as a university. That sets us apart from every other institution that are also involved in teaching and in service. So, what does that say to us? I'm glad that Professor Fango had set us so well in terms of world-class university. There are two materials that the World Bank has produced around world-class universities. And I'd like to quote from one of them. This came from several studies of top universities. And it says, listen to this. They recognize the primacy of merit. Professor Bula has spoken so much about merit, either in admission, either in appointment of officers, or whatever. And their decisions are based on a relentless pursuit of excellence. They aspire not to be number 2. They aspire to be the best in whatever they do. Teaching, research, and participation in the global knowledge network. They are not ivory tower. They are not standing out there, but they are out impacting their world and making a difference. That's what makes great universities and world-class universities. And from that, therefore, let's go back to our service. To the issue of what we do. What distinguishes those who are excellent or those who are top-class universities? It's not what we do. It's how we do it. Hello. That's the right. Either one university is excelling or the other one is not excelling. They want to research, they want to teach, they want to service. It is the dimension of how that distinguishes from the top from those who are bottom. And therefore, think about it. Now, what distinguishes truly great universities, world-class universities, is the spirit of excellence that dominates, honors, and gives the overall bearing in order to get that university. And that's why I'm so glad that Professor Gowa had spoken so well. And I'm glad that University of Excellence. But it won't come by word of mouth. It's going to come by relentless pursuit. In other words, there is no time we get there and say we are there. It's about we are there but we are not there. We will keep on pursuing. Alright. So when we think about that, let's then talk about what are the core issues I need to talk about this morning. Because there are many keywords in what I've been asked to talk about. Research, craftsmanship, and world-class university. So let's step into the dimension of research and craftsmanship and what really will be called here. Craftsmanship is simple to define, but difficult to practice many times. It's simply talk about our skill in being able to get physical grants. And believe me, there's so much grant out there. There's so much grant out there. But it starts with the ability to put together a competitive proposal. In fact, one of the things I wish and I hope we can do is that we can make sure that for you to be a professor, you must show evidence that you are not a grant. That will transform everything. You can't hear me. Now, what I hope you can do is to say before you become, listen. If you are not getting grants, how are you doing quality research? If you don't get grants and you are not able to get grants as a professor, how do you teach people, train them, mentor them to get grants? Does that sound like I'm saying something strange? Talk with me. Because the reality is, we can't really do good research honestly without grants. I'm running 4 current grants right now. One of them is 300,000 grant from Ford Foundation. Ford gives my university 20% of 300,000. That's what comes to my university, just for money for hosting the project. Imagine if 10%, now that I said that about 10% at work is starting to move the university. If 10% of this university group can hold, I'm not even asking for dollars, get 50 million naira a year, and the university get 5 million from each of them. Imagine what will happen to their economy, but not the economy, to the standard of research and the standard of publication. So, okay, this one I've moved fast. I'm very thank you for moving fast. You know, this one of the things that we must understand is that when we begin to work in the realm of grant, it changes our perspective. And I'm going to end today's history of a young man, and something that happened between us in the last couple of months. That when you get grant, give you access to non-personal resources. If somebody says to me, let's contribute, I'm like, contribute for what? This salary? No. You have to, even my publication is paid for grants. Somebody will have to pay. My salary is to make me go home and feed my family and take care of my needs. But grant enables us to have access to non-personal resources. It enables us to be able to focus on our project implementation to do a good work. I'm only a project of 94 million now, running a productive trend in Ekiti and Ondo. I don't need to be there because I have money. I can employ people. I provide. If I don't have money, I'll be running around like cats looking for how to do the job. But I can focus on my work because I have fun to support what I need to do. And I can teach at the quality at which I want to do it. You provide platform for individual and organizational growth. The truth about life is when you begin to bring grants, you find that sometimes you don't even go out or you are saying, there's this new grant application. Please, we like to apply. And it gives you entrance to a new world where you can begin to just stand by yourself and work with people who are at the top class. And it gives position us for the future. I don't have enough time. This is the picture of one of the grants I have. That's the Sparkle project, funded by Ford. The whole of that center, everything there, was funded from the grant. When I was in Ife, I had the center funded by Bill and Melinda Gates. When the vice chancellor wants to do something, I can't get any resource anywhere in the university. He will come to my center and say, Sheikh, I know you must have the equipment. Because that's one of the things I can grow world class university. Talk about resources. And resources will never be enough. But by attracting resources from all over, we can create different kind of centers of excellence, even within one university, just by focusing on research. All right, next slide, let's go on. So, what does it take to start on the journey of grantmanship? Remember I said all I want to do this morning is plant a seed and plant an idea. I personally believe that 3 things enable us to start that journey. The first one is a sense of curiosity, to ask questions, to raise issues. I always tell people, you all know about the law of gravity. But the reality is, the first day the man started thinking about that law was not the first day an apple fell from the tree. Was it? Apple have been falling from trees since God started the world. What made the difference? Somebody was curious to say, why is apple falling from the tree? A common incident that everybody sees, but nobody asks questions. One man asked questions, and that began the new dimension about law in physics. It also was the critical thinking, the ability to transform our curiosity into research questions and be able to run through them and generate answers. And the third thing is courage to go the pathway and many do what to do. Last night as I was coming on my way, a colleague of mine called me. We just put in a proposal around AI and public and wanted to use there's something a call for AI. How do you see it? So we put a proposal about AI. I was there, like Larry was saying, sorry if I said that, don't forgive me. I said, I'm public, I'm not blocking talking about ICT. Also, yes, someone was ICT, and I had a concept we were using, talk about concept of mental model. So he called me and said, I have something crazy idea. Can you bring in this new? And I'm like, what? It's not crazy. Every idea that often works starts like a crazy idea. If you don't want people to criticize, to ask questions, you're not going to go far. The courage to ask crazy questions and to work with crazy ideas is one of the answers to be able to get grants all the time. And let me spend 1 or 2 minutes around that. I always tell people in my community that one of the problems about being in Nigeria, particularly a Yoruba person, I don't know too much about this, is that many times they are taught not to ask questions. When the small child starts to ask questions, keep quiet, get anything for you. And ultimately, people's sense of curiosity becomes dead. If it's dead, please look it up. And that was one of the things we must do with our students. We must help them to release the power of curiosity. And that's why I like this picture of this young boy. You can't see what's on the other side. He had books. He put them on the table. I must see what's on the other side. That's the sense of curiosity you all must make it if you truly must become productive in terms of gravity. And like as I said, to be curious, you must give yourself the freedom to risk and make mistakes. And it requires trust. Trust that everyone and every situation has something to teach. So every situation you are just alive to see what is there to learn. Next slide. This is what Abayesti said. He said, I have no special talents. I'm waiting for you. He said, I have no special talent. What made me the great scientist that everybody worships and celebrates is simply that I am passionately curious. I hope you are going to leave this room becoming a passionately curious person. You raise questions about everything and about anything. I don't take time talking about next slide. Talk about critical thinking skill. I wish I had time. A couple of weeks ago, I was doing the whole lecture in the field around critical thinking. But there is something that we must all think about. That one of the first ways to think about critical thinking is the ability to observe carefully. It's just to be able to observe, to notice. Because that brings up in us that passion to ask questions about what we see every day. That it is the intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully. I like this word, 2 words. Actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as a guide to belief and action. So it's not just about keeping and walking around. Like every day, our senses are so alert that we are seeing research questions everywhere we are going. That's what it takes when you talk about being passionate about curiosity. It's about the skill to observe, the skill to analyze, the skill to be able to make evidence-based inferences, and to be able to communicate that and ultimately to apply it to problems. It's not about writing paper for promotion. Of course, promotion will come. I always tell people, when I go to the university, I used to work in the UA. I came to the university. I used to tell people I have 5 things I could do. A, that I just want to be an academic excellent person. So somebody said, there's no promotion, there's no professorship in your ambition. I said, I don't need one. I don't need one. If I do excellent work as an academician, the result will come. If they don't promote me this way, they will promote somewhere else. So there's no potential around promotion. It was not in my horizon as to, no, I'm not here for promotion. I want to do academically. I don't want to be a professor in history. I want to be a professor that is known in his field for what he does. So it's not promotion, it's our being academically excellent. But that drives us to want to not just publish in any background paper, but to publish in top journals so that you can compete. We have had a definition this morning about world-class university. It's about global dimension. It's about the global scale. And these are some of the things I'd like to drop with you. It's some of the ways to begin to find your focus when you think about the idea. Now you have asking yourself a question about what aspect of my discipline really interests me. And how do I begin to grow in that field? It's also about questioning what you have observed. And I talked about that already. And also, have you read articles? Have you gone to meetings? Have you had people make presentations and like, wow, there's a question here nobody has asked. Can I take that up? That's how we begin to get to the realm of truly being able to get grant. But if you are going to ask questions somebody has asked 10,000 times, they have published this work in Mushi, and I publish it in Olosha, then you are going to just get published in the Olosha journal. But when you begin to follow the direction of science, you begin to get to the realm where getting grants becomes a reality. It doesn't come easy. Don't mind the way I'm saying it. It doesn't come easy. It takes many sleepless nights. I take courage to fail many times. And yes, we need to write another grant. This is one of the ways I like to represent what grant is. And forgive me, I don't have as much time that I wish I would have this morning. Hopefully one day we'll have time to talk about grant and probably do something more. I always say that grantmanship comes from one. Number one is the powerful idea. An idea that a founder reads and like, wow, I must fund it. The second element is about the science. And that's why it's not possible to teach grammatics even in 3 hours subject. Because science is almost like a lifetime of developing your ability. I always tell people, I thought I knew a lot in public health. When I was doing my last work, I was working in an institution in the US. And I remember we were putting up a proposal for grant from this foundation. And my sociology colleagues started talking about some methodology. I have never had them before in my life. I'm like, wow. And I had to go out. And that's why it's a lifelong thing. The science of it. And also, it's about presentation. One of the things we don't teach, unfortunately, in universities is about scientific writing. Because your best idea won't get a good result without being able to write it in a persuasive way. And those 3 elements just make your site proposal. But there's one more dimension. You must be painstaking in the processing. If the Englishman asks you, fantastic. I say, I thought I had 5 minutes more. That's good. I say, I have 10 minutes. If an Englishman asks you that this proposal is supposed to be submitted by 12 midnight, if you call at 12:01, that's the end. It has closed. And there's nobody to ask questions. And therefore, we truly must be to grant much. We must learn not only to write proposals, we must also learn to paste it in submitting our proposal. Okay, let's move on from there. As we think about, I'm not going to talk about this, but like I said, we don't have much time. But then maybe I should. And I think Professor will touch on one of them. One, generate a good idea. Look for where the idea is selling. Sometimes you always for proposal, only for proposal. Half of the time, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have to get a proposal and look for funders. And that's allowed. Half of the time, that's how I get research grants. With great partnership, You don't wait till the day you are responding to 10 funds proposal, then looking for partners. No. You be partners, work with people, so that when the time comes, you can speak to action very quickly. You also have able to assemble new teams, including building partners beyond Nigeria. And it's not as difficult as you think sometimes. Many times about, oh, you see somebody's work, you communicated with him, you discuss ideas with him. The day you ask me, can you come and be my partner for this? It's not asking who is that guy. It's also about being able to develop a technical element, be able to address financial issues, administrative issues. As a young researcher in Ife, I always tell you, I know that if I want the audited account of Ife, and I go to the boss, it might take me 2 weeks to get it. So at the beginning of every year, I get audited account. I write the vice chancellor, so they don't need. Once the year after, sir, I need a copy of. At the first time, I'm like, this guy is crazy. What does he want to do? Of course, by the time I start bringing grant, by the time I say I need, they are always happy. So I'm not waiting for the day proposal to come, but I have simple everything. So when it comes, I focus on my technical, and I have my team ready to spring into action. And that's one of the things that's important. I always tell you that it's funny. From the first month I was a university lecturer, I had my own personal research assistant, paid for my salary. For my first month. Why? Because I had my targets and was being grants. And I cannot give myself to dream. So I was investing in people. In fact, my office used to be like a factory. I have a researcher here, a researcher, because we need to. And that's what it takes. It's not something that, no, it takes dedication, it takes investment. And this is something you must realize, that look, the act of putting proposals together is not the biggest job. This came from a Esteban. That looking for a funding call, looking for it, looking for a call for proposal is how much percent? 25%. That's where most of us play. Because don't look, you will never find. 25% of what it takes to win a grant is the time to get proposals. For the call for proposal. And I'm talking about what we do as a university. Being able to plan for that proposal is 25%. Being able to write it, all that, is only 35% of the process. And we must be conscious of that, and that will set up the mechanism to enable us to do that. Let's do the last part. So, how do we begin then to foster excellence in research and grantmanship? Let's do this next slide. This is what I think we must do as an institution. And I'm glad we have a vice chancellor like Professor Bisoya, who are the director of research, who are the great researcher in the same and a global citizen. The first thing we need to do is part of what we're doing here. I always say to people that one of the places I have worked in my life that does not build capacity is the university. You build capacity of students, you don't build capacity of lecturers. And you take us back if you want to be a world-class university. You must dedicate time, resources to building capacity of lecturers. Professor Akpom said the fact that if you don't have a stable calendar, things are not possible. I spent my university at Brown, we are now 9 years, they have not gone on strike for 1 day. They got an institution, 9 years. And so, from June, as of today, we resume this year, October 1st of October. People are calling me, we have candidates. Last one, candidates. They have spent 6 weeks already in school. So, because we run a calendar that is so regular, from June to October, we plan intensively to build capacity of lecturers. In research, in grantmanship, in teaching pedagogy, all of that, because we can plan our time. And that's why I agree with you. Without a stable calendar, we can't go fast in university. And we must think around the whole spectrum, not just of researchers, but even research administrators. You must have administrators that manage research work for all, so that researchers can focus on the area that they need, they can do best. So we must think about research skills, research management, ethics, and all of that goes into that. Number 2, you must find a mechanism to increase access of lecturers to information about grants. Like I never showed, 25% of what it takes to win grant is be able to even get the call. And so there must be a mechanism that is able to scout globally and put out those information regularly. And there is this here, there is this here. When I was much younger, I don't know why I keep on thinking of much younger. I'm not that old, by the way. You know, when I was younger, we used to buy guidance every Tuesday. Just somebody to sit down every Tuesday, look from page 1, because that's where they used to advertise those things those days. We buy them regularly every week. Not because I want to do it. So the university must find that mechanism. Number 3, universities must ensure that lecturers, when they get grants, have access to it seamlessly. At the point in time I put out my research from the OAU, I had the WHO funded research. For 2 years I couldn't get my money. I had to be looking for money, to borrow money to do research. Because funders doesn't want to pay their excuses. And I always say, look, the decision is not doing what it needs to do. You need to do what you need to do for yourself. Because once your image is destroyed in the academic world, in the business world, it's destroyed forever. When someone wants to give you a job from the place, they say, give me 3 references who you have worked for. And your first reference say, it didn't submit report on time. That's the end. I once had a project between Learning Plus that was global. We brought it to IFE. We did the first part, second part. We did the third part. We were going to train schools across the country. And asked questions. Was I asked for an ask question? And one of them went us. We've done the work, we submitted report, they couldn't get a report out from audit. By the time they ended the strike 3 months later, we still cancelled everything. What will be a 5-year program? We let our way be cancelled everything. And that's why it's important that the university wants its people calendar. And so you must think about when people have access to their phone, they'll be happy to bring more funds. They won't want to use their phone. I have a new guy in my university that won an NIH grant from another university because he had that they have created an environment where when you bring your phone, you can get access to it. It's not my money, for God's sake. And when you bring it, I get 5% or 10%. So why should I be putting barrier? And sometimes bosses don't understand this. No, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. Look, I put out my research from the OAU for the last almost 10 years. I set up a parallel organization because I don't want trouble. They won't measure OAU, they measure parties. And I have my life to live. And so you must create a mechanism that ensures accountability. I'm sure we have talked about that today, but ensures seamless access. Number 4, universities must be partnerships. We talk about good name. Partnership that enable you to say, look, you can get a partner. My university, very specialized university of American Sciences, even though we have the largest number of American Sciences courses today in Nigerian universities, just 9 years. We won a grant, the innovation grant by British Council. Only 6 universities in Nigeria won and 24 across Africa. And at one of the reception meetings, they were saying, the British Council was saying, the only one thing that surprised them is that a medical university won innovation grant. I'm like, what was that supposed to mean? Because they're like, these are my entrepreneurship. I said, yes. Because they have built the partnership with universities abroad. We can bring all those resources we need to run the partnership program. And so university must truly be at that global level and internationalize so that we have that access to fund our other things. I'm going to hand up the other thing to play with. This is perhaps the most controversial one. We must create a time and structure that will enable researchers to have time to think and to make conclusions. It's difficult to talk about Nigerian university, but it's not impossible. I once learned this from one of my partners, who was the director of this project in the Rockets University. I remember we were having a meeting, and I said I was used to my celebration, I won't be here tomorrow. I said, why? He said, tomorrow is my own research day. I have my research day. I go and finish my research. I'm not saying you must disrupt the university, but you must always create time, because to get grant takes time. You need to have the time to think. One of the things I've just done in my university is to set up like a writing center. You can go there for some hours. And you have tea, you have everything. All you need to do is bring your brain. Come and sit down here and work. You must look at what is convenient without disrupting the system. You must also create supportive structures and mechanisms. It might be facilities, it might be faculties, it might be resources, but it cannot work without some supportive resources that we need. Including sometimes also providing part of our own fund to support new researchers to do the first research so that they can have some interim report and they can then build on to get bigger fund. And there must be incentives. One of the arguments I always tell them in face is tell you, I bring in projects. The bursar, now I know that is here. Take 10% for the university and nothing for yourself. And at the end of the day, when I write, I'm struggling to produce report on, you are not talking to me. And it's my money they are spending. It doesn't make sense. And is it not possible that when, as a provost, then you say to me, provost, for every grant you bring, when we take 10%, we'll give your college 1%. If you do that for me, you know what it is? I will push everybody to get grants. Because when they get grants, I know 1% is coming from everywhere. So we must think innovatively about how we can incentivize not just the individual, but the entire structure. And we must create the one system. We must celebrate best researchers. I know there must be a word that says this guy is the best researcher for this category. That guy. So that means people know that they are recognized and they are celebrated for what they do. Okay. And but this is the most important thing. It's not about doing this. No, please go back. It's not about doing this individually. There are two elements that make this work. One, institutional policies that says this is this because of this, so that nobody's harassing you. You bring in $100 million, and you are like, this guy will get 1%. That's 1 million. No, we can't do 1 million. No, it's policy, governance structure, and we must have institutions that are in charge of each of these. Be credible, appropriate, proactive leaders. That's the ultimate. It's not just the structures. Next slide. I was going to share an example of some of the things because I don't believe in theory. Some of the things we've done in the 3 years I've been vice chancellor to be sure that some of these things can be done. There's a Center Office of Research and Development that is not just about just saying, oh, we are central office. They are running research training regularly. They are, as I was going to show you last night, 9:30, there's a call shared on that platform. Every week that calls, they share. That's what they do. And when you want to write research proposal, like the example Professor Bowman did, and they were doing with Professor Soya, when you bring a proposal, they will sit with you, refine it with you, so that it can become world-class proposal. And when you get fund, they will co-manage, provide support, they help you manage it. That's what the Professor of Research and Development does. We have a university research committee that does something different. It manages the resources we are able to put down, and also help us to assess proposals that go to things like that, and then monitor all ongoing implementation. We have the research ethics committee, both animal and human, that again help to look at research direction and train and make sure they can get ethical approval when you need it. I've needed ethical approval in 14 hours before. Sometimes in other places, 3 weeks, you are still struggling to get it. Just do something in the operation and say, this is it, you need it, 14 hours. What director of staff or ethics group, sir, go through your process, or can you do an expedited approach? And what that done? You must think about your center. So one of the things we also did was the set up something called Center for Health Metrics and Data Science. And what it does is a place where there are no statisticians. So if you go all about and do your work and like, you have to like the certificate, right? Go there. You are trying to run a research and somebody doesn't know what methodology. Go there. Because that's the resource to support the entire university in terms of high quality research activity. You have a focus grant unit within the poster. In different places you have that grant and agency. They cater only for grants. When you tie all this to problem, you we created that initiative as a model that I think is useful. You know, we have an Office of Strategy and Development Management. What is that? What does is vigilance? Is the one discussing with the British Council. Is one meeting with the France agency. Because we need all that. We are sure to bring all that things to do. Let's go to my conclusion as I round up. I want to just share two thoughts with you as I close. Number one, I want to share with you the story of a young man that I had a discussion with just on Friday. This guy is a mathematical biologist. Because sometimes people say it's because you're in health sciences, that's why you can get grant that much. I'm a statistician, what can I get? This guy finished his PhD in like 3 years ago, joined us, and I remember he came to my office one day. His name is Olubiwage Speaker. I got his permission early this morning when I just thought of his story. And he came to me and said, "Sir, I need to go for my wife." The salary I'm getting, 120,000, I don't even know that's how to pay. Some stupid salary like that, academic. 120,000. How can I manage? I'm like, okay, you are not going to go anywhere with this 120,000. It's just a road to poverty. I said, you know what to do? You are a good researcher. Can you begin to think about grants? The guy came to me on Friday. He said, "Sir, I never say I'm a pastor, but you did a pastor. I can't go on and you want to do that." The boy said, "Sir, I don't touch myself." He said, "Since the day you told me this 120 you are going to be in poverty, why don't you begin to chase grants?" I took this from the CV last night. He's getting a work for Gavi. Gavi is the global alliance. He told me that man they paid him. I won't tell you, so nobody will pronounce this. As I'm talking, the guy is on his way out. We're going to do a 3 months work for one other agency in Germany. He's been the last 3 months, WHO has come to. And this was a young man who was just publishing work, because he wants to be a professor, maybe. But now you discover that the same skill that is used to publish paper, it can turn you around to be a great grandman. I was in his house on Friday because I had a baby. But that was the I was going to show. And the whole environment was dark. Everywhere was light in the sound. Just like, this is my new brand. This is the power of my feet, the power of my. I bought it for my grandmother. I'm not saying to use the grandmother. I'm talking about what you want as a parent. Please also make grandmother to go and buy food. And it reminds me clearly that we all can do it. Next slide, and I'm going to close. That all our dreams can come true. Including our dream for being great researchers and to be successful in that. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. That's the word of Walt Disney. I want to thank you very much for that.
Who will be seated? Thank you. You know, if I talk about this, I probably spend 2 hours because it's been a productive relationship since 1991. He was first candidate the year before me. I was also first in Nigeria, the same exam. And then we finished training, we went to work for UNFA, and the single person that affected the reproductive health policies in Nigeria is Sheikh Batuse, nobody else. When we talk about all the health policies of this country, he has written about 80 to 90% of them. And then I went to work for the industry, we got came back to university. And I then became professor same year. I became provost before him, became provost, became busy before me, I'm now busy. Interestingly, it was also ahead of Professor Fago. I want to thank you. And his last job, in fact, you know when they made him VC, he was working in New York as director of Godmatch Institute. And as he said, I'm not sure if he take this job. So he did not lobby, he did not beg. In fact, I kept asking him, just my father, Nigeria, because I know his wife, that's the professor of dentistry, I know his daughter, we are very close family friends. So I want to thank you very much for coming, and we'll bring you again. This is just, in fact, let me tell you the secret of this meeting. We met in Abena Social Group. Give me a date, and I will tell everybody else around. So once they told me 13th, I said everybody else, you are coming at the 13th, and so we're here. We will close by asking DBC Akad to come and give him a plaque, and then after we'll have a short. We'll take photograph. We'll have a short tea break. Dr. Pai is another wonderful sister of mine. We'll start the story later, and we'll continue, and then we'll do other presentations, and we'll finish. So, DBC Akad, please step forward, sir.
Shall I say my Vice Chancellor, sir? And indeed, my Vice Chancellor's sons. Professor Henry Fago, my Vice Chancellor, Professor Moiwa Dusoya is my Vice Chancellor, and now Professor Fantasy. This is an awesome moment for me because the first time I met Professor Fantasy was in the play, and I didn't know he was coming to sit beside me. I was in the economic class, and he was too. So as he came, I didn't know we were going to the same place. And then we got to go and discuss and arrive at certain curricula on biomedical sciences. And then we got talking while we were there with my team lead. I found out he was the Vice Chancellor and still is of Ondo State University of Medical Sciences. He asked me, "You are from which university?" I said, "From Lasustech." He said, "Oh, that's awesome." I didn't know that he knew my Vice Chancellor, and he didn't divulge it. I didn't know he would know Professor Ojumosu, who was also the Director of Research, as he drew me into the group. So this is the time we are meeting after that encounter. So indeed, it's an awesome moment for me. So on behalf of my Vice Chancellor, Professor Ojumosu, Professor Ojusoya, and the entire management of Lagos State University of Science and Technology, the University of Excellence, I have the pleasure to present this plaque to you as a guest speaker at our one-day orientation workshop on building an excellent world-class university. Thank you very much.
All right, so we'll take photographs. High table, please come. Deans, please come. Professors, please come. Others can join us. We can't take you now. We'll step down. Others can be here. Take a photograph.
Everybody.
Okay, can you stop like that? Hello.
mass. Now mass. It's time for break.
Ah, Clear? Clear?
Decisions.
Please ask, man, for those of us that are late, let's get set for the next lecture.
And when you lay your head on a pillow at night, that's... Imagine for a second being on a beach, dragging your foot and creating an indented pathway in the sand. And when you finish, taking a bucket of water and pouring it into that very same channel you just sculpted. The water is going to follow the path that you laid out. It will flow within the confines of the channel that you just made. And the way I see it, life is just like that water. It flows within the boundaries placed before it. And how you decide to see the world creates that channel that contains the water. It's the driving force behind everything in your life, guiding every single thing that comes through. Have you ever thought about how small the details are that sway our perception of reality? How different people interpret the exact same event in different ways? Why do some people rise when criticized and others crumble? Why do some see fear in hardship when others see opportunity? Why do some aspire to build and others to tear down? See, everyone has the same clay. People just decide to sculpt, to mold it differently. Your external world is a reflection of the internal decisions you make. Decisions that dictate everything. Decisions that take what the world throws your way and transforms them according to your viewpoint. Life runs right through your mode every day. That channel in the sand that you created, that you direct. You control how events unfold because you decide how they will be handled and harnessed. You choose the map that will take you to your final destination.